Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well, and it is time for a weekly track roundup. My thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on a bunch of songs that have dropped, well, like a week plus worth of time in this video, because it's been a minute since we've done a weekly track roundup, but it's mostly recent stuff in this video, mostly recent stuff with a few that we are hitting rewind on a little bit. Of course, everything is linked down below that we're going to talk about, along with our Turntable Lab affiliate link. Supports the channel, helps the page, use it to buy yourself some records, some turntables, 2 turntables and a microphone. Supports us either way. Also, what supports us is our Patreon page. Get access to our exclusive Discord community, monthly Let's Argues, so on and so forth. You guys know what it is. That's what it does. Worst tracks of the week. I'm going to keep it simple. We have just one. Bam. The piano version of I Knew It, I Knew You. Why? Why do we have it? Why is it here? Why are there so many different versions of this CD single? I mean, look, I like the original tune. It has a nice country pop flair to it, some cool chord changes and turnarounds and so on and so forth. But does Taylor know that when you do a piano version of a song, it doesn't need to be boring? Like you can actually like sing it with just as much passion as the original version and, you know, keep the performance lively. It doesn't need to be like sleepy. Yeah, much less interesting version of the original track. Just listen to the original. The tracks I was met on, they are as follows. Bam. Starting off with this one from Touchdown Jesus, who put out an EP not too long ago I really enjoyed. This track I do think has, you know, some merit to it, a cool jazz rock ending that is very Black Country New Road. A start that it feels almost a little Red Hot Chili Peppers coded to me. I'm not loving the vocal direction on this track. Look, either way, sort of seems like the band is in flux, trying some new things on this track. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but still an interesting band all around that is very much worth your time that I think you should check out. Because why wouldn't you check out a band named Touchdown Jesus? Anyway, we have one over here from Too Slimy, who is hitting us with some really distorted kicks and some harsh production on this one, of course, which I am liking the pacing of. I mean, I do think the vocals leave a little something to be desired for sure, but damn, some of the hits of bass and distortion on this one are insane. I will give it that. The production's really doing something. Scratching a certain itch in my brain. Mastodon, your ghost again. Mastodon is back after some dark times. Rest in peace to Brent Hines. This new single for a new chapter in the band's career is an interesting one. It's a multifaceted track that I think does take a minute to really get going, but once those sludge riffs really start to solidify themselves, the track is not too bad. Some of the clean vocals I could take or leave, but it is a heavy one with some melodic passages for sure that are definitely worth checking out. And, you know, looking forward to seeing what the band is going to do in this next step forward. We have also a new one from Jack White over here, who I think has put out a track that is a little less theatrical than his last 2 singles, which to my ears were maybe like a little too hokey, but you know, even with this track being more straightforward, more meat and potatoes, just giving us that straightforward wild blues rock. I don't know, it just doesn't really kind of hold a candle as much to you know, that recent No Title project, which I loved so dearly. Moving on from there, though, a new album from Jack on the way very soon. However, we also have a new one on the way from Interpol, who are sounding as Interpol as ever on See Out Loud. Not a bad one, but you know, look, if you're really into that Turn on the Bright Lights era, you're going to like what the band is offering here. You know, they're really kind of going back to basics over here in a way that I think a lot of fans have been hoping they would for a while now. We have a horror over here hitting us with this Power in Numbers track, which is not too bad. I mean, look, it's like some very straightforward, like groove metal, new metal, a little bit of Rage Against the Machine in there, but you know, maybe not like quite as you know, crazy on the guitar work side, because you know, we are talking about Tom Morello here. But yeah, you know, definitely bringing back a bit of a groove metal, new metal, rap metal thing on this one. And you know, not my favorite song they put out in the past couple of years, because obviously they did just put out a very quality full-length record. This definitely wouldn't be a favorite or a highlight for me on the record if it landed on that one, but it's always cool to see a Lucy from these guys for sure. And you know, here's some look, there's a lot of bands kind of bringing this sound back these days. A lot of them stink. This one doesn't, at the very least. We also have a big blurred out booty here. Big Freedia and SOPHIE crossing over once again. Posthumous SOPHIE production on Go Down. And yeah, the Blaze That Ass track that came out prior to this, a lot better, a lot more memorable, but still, this one is not too bad, and it is cool to continue to hear, you know, SOPHIE and Freedia material. I wouldn't mind hearing more. Let's see if it happens continuing forward. The Fall also getting a posthumous record this year. Marky Smith being the prolific recording artist that he was with The Fall, I'm not too surprised that we're getting some vault stuff at this point. And this one over here, it's not bad. It's fine. I am sort of like, you know, a little mixed in terms of my feelings on a lot of late era The Fall releases. Some are great, some not so much. But this one definitely has piqued my interest. I will say that. Kind of has a bit of a wild and almost psychedelic feel to it at some points. 30 Degrees is the title. We have a new one over here from the Avalanches, crossing over with Jamie XX. Every Single Weekend is the title of the track. And honestly, despite having loved the last Avalanches teaser, even though that song was like a little electro inspired, not quite as plunderphonic as a lot of classic Avalanches work. Many fans were split on it. Again, enjoyed that track to death. Was kind of surprised that this Jamie XX cut was not the fireworks I was anticipating, considering, you know, the collaborative potential here. I just thought it was merely kind of okay by the standards of both of these artists respectively. So I don't know, just left a little underwhelmed by this one. Also underwhelmed by the new Ariana Grande track, which, you know, has some very dreamy, synthy, almost like Men I Trust type production, which I don't really think fits her voice all that well, or does not allow her to do much interesting vocally at all. It just kind of feels like a very so-so dream pop track. I don't know. And best tracks of the week are as follows. We have quite a few of those, so pay attention. Here we go. Insecure. New one from YG. Loving this track. Holy crap. So many of these YG singles for this upcoming album have been so thoughtful, so personal, so conceptual. And this one, just as much as everything else, honestly, I really love how well JID and especially Ab-Soul sort of feed into the honesty of this track. I mean, the song is literally about insecurity, and it's a really hard-hitting track on that topic. I will say that. It's great to hear YG being real as hell. Here we have a Weezer Gold album, song that has been out for a minute now. The We Might As Well Be Strangers track featuring Wednesday. Really great, you know, Rivers type songwriting, anthemic, loving the Wednesday Weezer vocal sort of, you know, chemistry, and loving the riffs, loving the sort of like, you know, very kind of sad angle of, you know, things changing in a relationship, and the lyrics. It's a great song, in my opinion. Great Weezer song. Really looking forward to a Gold album. Kenny beats Kenneth Bloom production, remember, also coming through on this record. We also have Ty Segall, who's hitting us with this new Black Paint track. Really nice to hear Ty putting together a track that has like some real heaviness and grit and nastiness to it again. I feel like a lot of his more recent productions have been a little on the clean side. This one's really bringing that scuzz back, which I am very much enjoying. Again, Black Paint is the name of the song, and he has a new album on the way very soon too. We also have Tierra Wax Museum coming out with a project, a mixtape, I guess, very soon. And if this Wax Paper single is any indication, Tierra is going to be rapping on this project, and I am very excited to be hearing a project where she is doing exactly that. So yes, like lyrically, she's totally on point, continues to be one of the most creative and instantly recognizable, I think, MCs, rap artists of her era. It's just, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate her to the degree that they should for that. So I don't know, I'm just going to continue on. All right, here we go. Show Me the Body, putting out another great, standout, hard-hitting, exciting, riffy teaser track for their next record, which is dropping very soon too. What else is there to say? They're pretty much 3 for 3 at this point. Eat for Peace is the name of this track. The band continues to kick ass. Also loving how clear some of those banjo riffs and licks are coming through in a clean fashion on this song as well. Really kind of like, you know, diversifies the track a little bit sonically. Also liking this new Rebecca Black song, Speakerphone. This one is a wild banger with some great, you know, varied vocal refrains that all kind of like earwormed my way into their head by the time I was done listening to the song. Definitely one of the most ambitious beats Rebecca has hopped on in her career as well. She continues to develop interestingly as a pop artist, that's for sure. Rapsody is back. New Rapsody album on the way, which I'm really excited for because it kind of seems like Rapsody is going back to, you know, something that's a little more personal and conceptual with this record. Her last LP, in my opinion, sort of saw her, I think, making a more sort of like commercial move or making a record that maybe had a bit more of a wide appeal. This one, I think she is like really digging into, you know, what makes her sort of unique as a rap artist. God Got Afro and Gold Hoops is the name of the record, and God Got Afro is the name of the track. And Jesus Christ, this is like some crazy, almost like Pharrell / Electro / Missy Elliott type production on this one, with some amazing bars and just really just the kind of quality rapping that we have come to expect from Rapsody for years and years and years at this point. Love that she is like bringing her sound back to what makes her, again, just sort of one of a kind artist. So, you know, excited to hear more songs that are in league with that spirit on this forthcoming record, given this first teaser here. We also have JPEGMAFIA hitting us with the Valentine's Day Freestyle 26. It doesn't need to be Valentine's Day to get a Valentine's Day freestyle from Peggy. And you know what, honestly, I'm liking the drumless vibes. I'm liking the vocal chops, which are lovely. I'm liking the change in flow from section to section in the freestyle. I would kind of take this track over a lot of songs from the most recent record. Hopefully there's more coming out at some point that's as good as this. All right, moving on from there. Doomed, Open Mike Eagle and Kenny Segal. Awesome that they are doing something with Billy Woods' label. And this song over here, Unfinished Concrete Initials, has some amazing vocal chops and Hemlock Ernst feature as well. Open Mike Eagle smashing it vocally too. Really sort of seems like he's just on the same wavelength as Kenny on this one, and sounding amazing in the process on this track. I don't know what else there is to say. Open Mike Eagle continues to be one of the best underground rappers of his generation, and you know, is aging like fine freaking wine. We have also over here another one from Mary in the Junkyard Mouse, the closing track to the their forthcoming record, which is heart-wrenching, spacey, and beautiful. Enjoying that one a lot. Also enjoying this new one over here from I Will Get It, Lorraine. Yes, Lorraine has a new album out very soon. Soulless Cycle is our first taste of it. And it's actually an insane transition and contrast from anything on the last Lorraine album, which had a lot of buzz, especially in the critic sphere. This track over here is an intense, constantly escalating, noisy, heavy, crushing rock track with these insane guitars and just fiery drums. Like, I'm actually blown away by the intensity of the performance on the song. It's insane. I wonder if we're going to get more like it on this record. Lorraine has proven herself to be a pretty versatile and I would say like a difficult to pigeonhole artist thus far, even off of like, one breakout project. So I'm kind of curious as to like how much on this forthcoming album will sound exactly like this. I'm betting probably not, a ton. We're probably going to hear a real range of different sounds. But still, the intensity and just sort of the explosivity of this track is something to behold. I'll say that. We have Steve Lacy over here. I don't know what's going on with this art. I'm not crazy about this. This seems like as far as like art direction goes, this is a pretty awful decision right here. But this song, this teaser, The Feeling, is a really beautiful ballad with some fantastic production and wonderful, beautiful vocals on it. But yeah, I'm not sold on Two Circles. Oh yeah, shallow focus photograph. Yeah, I'm not sold on this. I'm gonna continue on. Fundido, this track with Emma Dufaux on it as well. Get a Grip is the name of it. The radio edit, the original mix, well, rather the radio edit. Loving this one. DFA Records 12-inch release. If you're looking for that kind of like New York indie-tronic dance kind of vibe, this track has it in spades. Executes it perfectly. Loving the vibe, enjoying it quite a bit. And also lastly, shout out to Chat Pile, who have a new record on the way and frankly are sounding as heavy as ever on this deep blue song and single. It's crushing. It is depressive. It is powerful. It is Chat Pile. It's everything that it should be. And that is going to be it for the weekly track roundup. Everybody, thank you very much for watching. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that upward link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.